Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Q&A show on Inside the Birds platform. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason Avant, and I'm here with the tackling machine himself, my man, Quintin Mikell. Q, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be back. Wish it was under better circumstances, but it's good to be back, man. I'm blessed. Yeah. How you doing, man? It's good to see you,
It's
man. Looking
always good
good,
to see you.
nice and
You
dapper,
looking
man. Got the
smooth. You got
button
the
up,
velvet in the back.
man.
This is beautiful. What is it? Love it. Q, before we get into the game, we know that the Eagles lost final seconds of the game, losing 22-21 to the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins. Um, we want to thank everyone that is tuning into the Q&A show. Thank you guys. We appreciate everything that you do. To Adam, Jeff, Josh, everyone at Inside the Birds that's responsible for us. We just want to say thank you for all that you do and great for that opportunity. Very grateful for that opportunity. Q, let's get into the game. Like I said, the Eagles lose a heartbreaking game in a ridiculous fashion. Uh, I'm still lost for words. I've talked about this multiple times at this point. Had the game won, Saquon drops the ball. Defense is Swiss cheese. Lets the Falcons go 70 yards in a minute and a half, and we lose the game on a Drake London touchdown. Let's talk about the Eagles defense. Before we talk about the Eagles defense, let's make this note. The Eagles defense gave up 21 points. I was taught that if the offense can score more than 24 points, we should win the game. If the defense holds you to 24, you should win. Over 24 and under 24. That's the way I was taught the game. But let's get right into it, Q. Can the run defense turn around quickly? Is it gap integrity issue? What's correctable? What's not? Which guys need to get better? Why can't guys get off blocks? What's going on?
Man, I try not to get too crazy. I try not to to totally lose it, but that game was evident that it was a big mixture, in my opinion, of bad scheme, bad play, bad
Okay.
tackling, bad, uh, timing on the calls. I mean, just overall bad. And what I mean by that is, first of all, I'm not a huge fan of the defensive front that the Eagles were playing. I call it a swim front. You got your interior linemen in either a two, which is head up to slightly inside on both guards, and then your ends are wide outside. So the C gap is essentially wide open. And when you're playing against a veteran team, and this Falcons team, I mean, Arthur Smith had those guys running the ball pretty well, right? So they're well coached still. And you're seeing double teams up into, the Mike linebacker, the center's uncovered, so he's getting off the ball pretty quickly, and he's climbing up on the Mike backer, cutting him. And then you got defensive ends, Bryce Huff, and Sweat, and BG play well against the run, but he's always going to do that. But you got defensive ends that are getting single blocked, getting pushed around. You got linebackers falling down, and you got cornerbacks and safeties getting blocked. I mean, it was just all across the board. It just looked like an undisciplined defense. It looked like a badly coached defense, and from tackling to everything else, it was just ugly, man. And I'm not used to seeing that type of football out of this team. Just over the years, what I remember the Eagles defense, and it just didn't look like that defense that we're used to seeing.
I Giving up 150 yards a game in the first two games as far as rushing is concerned, is just not Eagles football at all. When the Eagles or went to the Super Bowl, people couldn't get over 100 yards to save their lives.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
we got to figure out what the issue is here. And to not make the adjustments is just asinine.
Yeah,
Usually, when you're getting the ball ran on you like that, you normally go to an over front or a 5-man front. We didn't see that much at all. And uh, I'm trying to figure out why. And it was glaring. Here's something that's glaring to me. You got rid of Hassan Reddick not because he couldn't rush the passer. You got rid of Hassan Reddick because he was a liability in the run game. Hassan Reddick a lot of time can be single blocked by a tight end and or reverse. He's going to go for it every single time. I understood that, but he was a dynamic pass rusher that could change the game. So you replace him with the dude that has the same problem in the run game, but has less of a pass rush. Tell me what sense does that make? That makes no sense. You basically get a guy that literally is front side of a zone run and for a whole series kept getting knocked down inside.
it
The
was bad.
tight end was outside of him, off the ball in a 1.5 foot, 2 foot split. Crack. That means the guy's going to pin you down and go up to the next level. Why not go outside right now? You just like, oh, he's there for just no reason. Boy, I'm like, dude, how many times does somebody have to take your money before you to realize that you need some protection? Just went
Yeah,
in your pocket the whole game and took your money. Didn't block you half the time on the backside at all. And you still didn't make the play. Man, listen,
crazy man.
that right there is not making sense to me at all. You can't be a lesser pass rusher than Hassan Reddick and the same liability in the run game. That makes zero sense right now.
Yeah,
Let's talk about this part of it. These outside runs, they're definitely trying to get away from the big fellas that can wreck the game going forward. So they're making them have to cover ground. And what's happening is that they're overplaying it, and there's a cutback lane every time. But when your defensive end is not getting into the play, they can cut off your linebackers because they're in better position. The center is pretty much unblocked the entire time because of how close these guys are and able to get up to Bond, able to get up to N'Kobe Dean. They were cutting them like 90 going north last night,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was like you should have been in a 5-man front at some point anyway. That should have happened. And
Yeah,
I don't know why that's a scheme thing. Um, it wasn't a big effort thing. It was mainly a scheme thing and also just some bonehead mistakes. That's not effort. That's just attention to details.
absolutely.
And another thing too is that you gotta have secondary players that want to tackle. Here's the thing: Drake London, Mooney, they wanted to block the safeties last night, and they were able to block the safeties with regularity. Q, you know it's an indictment against every safety in the National Football League for a team to execute being able to block safeties with receivers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Every DB coach in the National Football League is going to be pissed if you keep getting blocked by a receiver.
Yeah.
That's not the physical brand of football that you want. Drake London covering up our safeties like it's nothing. I'm like, come on, man, y'all better give that boy the top of your helmet underneath that chin strap. They didn't. They're not calling. They're not calling the targeting on that.
And all it takes is one time, just one
All it
time.
takes
To,
is one time. Yeah, yeah. You know what they used to do? Dion. What was my man name? Used to play for Tennessee. What was his name? Dion. And then went to Seattle. Ah, shoot, I can't remember
Branch?
his name. Huh?
Not Deion Branch.
No, he's
No.
safety. He's safety. Shoot, I can't remember his name. But he played for Tennessee. He went to Seattle too for a little while. But strong safety, strong as ever. And he would act like he didn't see me all the time. And at the last minute, he would lunge out of his hips right into me. I'm like, this dude, and he would do it with half his body, so I couldn't hit any surface. You know what I mean? Like if you come in a block a dude like this and he give you half of his body, you take it all shoulder and everything right to the. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you guys got to do that to these dudes 1 or 2 times in order to get them off of you. But I was annoyed with that pretty much the whole day. So I think it's a little bit of scheme as far as Fangio not getting into a 5-man front, but also these guys not being aware
Yeah.
of what the team is trying to do to you. You
And
can't
it's
you
not. And go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, you can't get blocked that much and not make adjustments as a player.
Or if you see, and this is where I was talking about what I was alluding to when it comes to coaching. If you see that your safeties are getting sealed like that, start calling some single high coverages. Call cover 3, call cover 1. Get your safeties in the box early so they don't have to continually fight, these big. Now Drake London ain't no little dude, so
No, he ain't no
like
little. He no little
you
dude. He a
need
big dude.
you-
That
help
boy
me out,
ain't.
coach. Let me get in the box a little bit before
Yeah, cut off his angle.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah.
So what went wrong with Atlanta's final drive, Q? When it came to the receivers being wide open, I'll go second on this one.
Yeah. So I'll talk about it, but hold on. First of all, I gotta say this. All right. So yesterday was my birthday, right?
Oh
So
man, I didn't even guys say happy
right.
birthday. Y'all
No, you
terrible.
good. You good, man.
You ain't posted.
So this is my entire weekend, right? So Friday night we had a big game. I'm coaching at a local high school in Idaho. We blew out a team, our rivals, right? The next day, got to hang out with the family. Sunday, got to go to birthday dinner with my wife. Friday or Monday, we had practice all day. I got my Eagle gear on at the school I work at. I got, we go to practice. I'm ready. Like, okay, we watch film. Everybody, all my players are like, hey, coach, you Eagles gonna win tonight? And I'm like, yeah, they're gonna win for my birthday. Blah, blah, blah. Go down, get home, watching the game. I got some what we order wing spot. Had a great night. Get to the last two minutes of the game and just ruined it. My entire weekend was just ruined
Just ruined
off
birthday
the
weekend.
last 2 minutes of that game. Like everything, just throw everything out, man. All I just forgot all. It's just throw it out the window, man. 2 minutes. That's all it took.
No, it took a minute and 5.
A minute 5. My bad.
It didn't take 2 minutes.
But that's even worse. That even hurts even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So here's my thing. That final drive, it was they took advantage. They took advantage of the young boy. They took advantage of Quintin Mitchell. They attacked him. Two of the biggest plays that they got were on his side. One of them I think was a little bit kind of a mixture of him not being experienced, and then you got Reed in the situation dropping down into a buzz coverage. He's taking the underneath route instead of sinking underneath the that sail route by
Yeah,
Mooney.
yeah.
And then the next play. Oh, that was actually the second play. The first
No, the
play
second play. The first play was cover 2.
was cover 2, and Quinyon just kind of over squeezed on the
On a flat route.
on a flat route and let some get behind him. So the way I look at it is this, and again, this is where I go back to coaching. Okay, in this situation, you got a veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins on the other side of the field. You got a quarterback that knows how to win these type of games. It's an all or nothing situation. So they're not throwing it out of like they're going after it. It's game 2. They're going to try to get after it and get a win. The only thing I don't like, and I know that he's gonna get better. Both of those players, with Reed and Quinn, they're gonna get better. They're gonna get that experience, and that won't be a problem moving forward. The only thing that I wish that would have happened is you put CJ on Quinn's side. On the other side, you got Quinyon. I mean, you got CJ playing safety on the side where Slay is. Where you got two veteran guys. Now I know they had Drake London on that side, but when you're in that type of situation, I just wish that they would have flipped it and had a younger safety on a veteran side and a veteran safety on a young player side, just to kind of balance it out a little bit and help. Because you could see it. Kirk was like, all right, we going right here. They got two young players over here. Oh, we working this side all day. And that's exactly what they did. And I think that was really the difference in that final drive. That no pass rush, and then just rookie young guy mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's think about this. It's two forms of thought. This is my thought when it comes to this. There is the Jim Johnson, the Dick LeBeau, the Bill Belichick. When the game was on the line, those coordinators are coming after your ass.
Absolutely.
I'm just that's what's happening. You don't
Yeah.
have to think twice about it at all. You know, I've seen Jim Johnson call cover zero for like 4 or 5 plays in a row
Yeah.
with the game and got beat. Went over to the player and told him my fault, but I had to do it. Next game, we get in that situation, he do it again. Listen, what they're saying is that I'm going to beat you. I'm going to put my best foot forward of you beating my best. I'm going to put them in a situation and I'm going to attack you. I'm not going to sit back and just allow anything. If you beat me quickly. My offense get another chance.
Yep. That's real.
But you can be in a situation where you force action, you force a tip ball, you force a turnover, you force a sack. Now it's a different ball game. But you sit back and just wait, and you sit back and just wait. That's what happens. You get a young player that's in cover two. He sees the cheese underneath in the flat route, doesn't sink far back enough. First of all, he didn't reroute him at all. It's the perfect time to reroute. So he didn't reroute him. He didn't sink underneath it. You get a deep ball, right? You get one that he gets down in. And then the next play is, in 2 minutes that you got to guard the sideline. That's one of the things. Let's keep the clock running. Right? Those are things.
Yeah.
Those are the core values of 2 minutes. He got caught up looking at the quarterback and gave away his outside leverage. Right? Those small little details. And then he went for interception on the ball that was clearly catchable for the receiver. Like, what are you going to knock the ball out? Go and make the tackle and try to keep him in bounds and prevent him from getting the extra 10 yards. Like those small things. And then the final couple plays will slay. They it looked like double post to me too. It looked like double post with an arrow inside. It looked like it was a 3-man. It looked like 3-man double post. That number 3, because Slay was looking at it. Number 3 went straight for the safety. Number 2 went up for arrow. He like, that's the underneath. I'm waiting for this. I'm about to pick this double post because that's what it looked like to me too. And they hit him with the okie doke. We did double post last week. Sight, we're gonna do this out route, and he got beat.
Yeah.
I understand why he got beat though.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
You get what I mean? The other ones is just details, young players, they have to grow and that type of thing. But the truth of the matter is they shouldn't have been on the field, Q.
I agree.
When Gardner Johnson made that stop, when we talked about safeties filling holes, he came down in the box because it was 4th and 1. And that may have been one of the best football plays that I've seen individually in a long time. To get Bijan Robinson on the ground in a one-on-one situation where it was him against one man versus another man, to get him down, they shouldn't have been on the field. And guess what? The defense can be blamed all you want. They gave up freaking 22 points. 22 points. That's nothing in the NFL. 22 points should get you a win on defense.
Yeah, I agree.
22 points given up for a season, you're going to be top 5 defenses in the league.
Yeah.
So, yeah, did they give it up easy at the end? Yeah, they did. Did they get the ball ran on them? Yeah, they did. But at the end of the day, they gave up 22 stinking points. And guess where our money is on this team? On that offensive line, on the receivers, on A.J. Brown, on Dallas Goedert, on Jalen Hurts. They the ones that got to produce. They got the most money. All right.
I like it, man. Speak.
Eagles haven't had pass rescue. Not much pass rush at all. We talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not pass rush generated by Milton Williams or Jalen Carter, we don't have it.
Yep.
And you're asking the dudes that got the most people near them, they got a man out on up in front of them on both sides of it, and they have to be the ones that generate the pass rush. And you dealing with a one-on-one on the outside with a chip every now and again. Explain it to me, Q. It's not making sense to me.
It ain't making sense to me either. I, I don't even know. I mean, even I don't even know where to go.
That game, they got one sack and two quarterback hits in an entire football game. You play a entire football game and end up with basically two hits on the quarterback and one sack. That's an entire
And
game.
and the one sack was just a dude, man, like just that Milton Williams sack, he just beasted somebody.
Yeah,
I mean,
he beat Lindstrom with his hands.
and I think I don't know, man. They look tired. I don't know if they're not in game shape yet.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't know. I'm just the stunts. He tried to. They tried to call some stunts toward the end of the game. They tried to do some movement there, but it was too late. And even when you're doing stunts, I mean, you got four men working against five. I mean, the
Yeah.
back was staying in, chipping most of the time. Even the stunts, like there was one, I think it was the last play of the game or the second to last play. Um, you had three D linemen on the offense's left side, and then they did a big kind of TE stunt. I think it was by Swift to the other side. But the thing about it is crazy. I mean, it looked nice. The idea looked nice, but he's
You talking
doing the
about on the
TE
Slay play
stuff.
on the Slay touchdown?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was either that one or the one before. I can't remember.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Q. Get people in the A gap, man. It's a zero blitz.
Yeah.
You can't block them based on numbers. So why are you coming from far? They know what you're doing. You get up. What I'm saying is get close. Get close to line scrimmage. If that's the one I remember.
No, so it was the one on the sideline.
Oh, okay.
So it was the second to last one.
Yeah, the one that Covey. The one that Drake on the sideline.
Yeah, on the sideline. Yeah, that
Left
one.
side. Yeah.
And he's wrapping around. Great design, but he's wrapping to an unblocked like a guard that's just waiting on him. So
Yeah.
I don't know and this was what I worried about, and I don't like to be that guy that's just like hating on every single coach, because I do think that Fangio's a good coach, and I think he has a lot of experience. I was worried about his always lack of bringing pressure, and I've said it multiple times. Like it feels like the Eagles brass do not like hiring aggressive defensive coaches. They like guys that just allow the pass rush, and they what's the word? They rely on the secondary to kind of cover all day. And you can't. This is the NFL. You can't cover a guy for like 5 seconds.
You
You
and
you need help.
especially not a Mooney, who's a dude that can break you down. Mooney can break you down. He's one of the best route runners in this game.
Oh,
He will break
absolutely.
you down. Like if you give Kirk Cousins time, he's gonna get open.
Oh yeah. And so, I don't know, man. It's just frustrating. But you know, game two, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the
We need
thing,
to start. Go
because
ahead.
we got to transition into offense. But here's my point that I'll say is that we better be on the phone right now with a veteran. We better try to get Fletcher out of retirement. I'm serious.
I'm with.
We literally need to be begging Fletcher to come out of retirement right now. We need to find an older veteran player that or somebody that we can trade, but to just that's what we need.
Yeah.
We need
Ain't no
that's what we
pass
need.
rush.
And
Ain't no
Fletcher's
pass
gonna be like,
rusher, I
dude,
think.
unless you put another dude on this line with me, I ain't coming back. Am
Fletcher
I
done
lying?
retired, man. He ain't coming back.
I'm just telling you that they got to do something. They got to do something. They got to do something. They got to do something fast too. They got to do something fast. Like you got a lot of resources. You got to use them because yeah, you got to do it. You got Devin White sitting there. You don't want to play him. Package him up.
Something.
You get what I mean? You got him there. Package him up.
Just ain't nobody there though. There's nothing available.
Yeah. I tell you,
That's
just look at the boy Raheem Morris, their defense, man. The coverages they play. Cut some cover. I was sitting there. I rewind one play. Their fourth down play, second drive when the Eagles went for it when they should have kicked the field goal. I watched that play a good 17 times just to figure out the coverage. I understood why Jalen Hurts was confused because I was confused. Yeah. It was a combo type of coverage. I still don't know. I don't know if you looked at the play and I don't know if you can tell me what the coverage is. You know what I mean? Like the reason I say it is because I just think he just made it up. I'm serious. Like I just think he made it up. I couldn't even put it in the family. I knew it was some type of too high, but I still don't know what it was. So I know Jalen Hurts was confused, and I've seen way more football than Jalen Hurts at this point. I could not figure it out. I was like, okay. I want you to look at that play. I want you to look at that play. Look at that play and tell me what coverage that is, because I don't know what coverage that is.
It was the one when he ran to the left and threw it out.
And did he throw it? No, it was the fourth down.
Next one.
I think he threw it out of bounds on the third down. But the fourth down play, the one that they ran like a halfback option over there, but it was like man, but the safety came down.
Okay, let me see.
And then on the other side, like that defensive play call was unbelievable. I was like, what the hell is this? That was, and there was a couple times in the game where I did not know what they were playing. I was like, that's you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, what is this?
You're like, it was great. I was like, it's freaking amazing. Like, I could not figure it out. I'm like, what? Because the safety up top took number 3 1-on-1, but the outside two dudes were in zone, and they clearly thought it was man to man in that situation.
Bro,
yeah, it was a great play call. I was like, dude, that's a great play call. Because the Eagles thought they were going man to man both times because all of those routes were man routes on those two, because they always play man in those situations. But he changed it up on them. The first time he did a red 3, and then that one was, I don't know what it was. And he just invented one. He invented the coverages for Jalen Hurts because he had the safeties ready. He had a person ready left and right just in case he blitzed. I mean, just in case he wanted to take off. It was crazy.
Yo,
this
is pretty dope. I like this.
That coverage is crazy.
You know what I think too? They're making it look like man by their stances almost. Like the right corner is playing inside.
Yeah.
Like he's man, but he doesn't go with it.
He doesn't go with it. But number 3 went vertical and the safety took him right away.
Bro, what is this? Coverage.
I know. Like we got to keep going on the show. That's crazy though, right?
Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah.
It gets you excited.
I'm gonna steal that. I'm stealing that one.
Yeah, it gets you excited though. When you look at it, it's like, I see people out here doing, like, they figuring it out.
Yeah.
They figuring stuff out and they're being creative. And I'm looking at my side of the ball like, man, what the hell are we doing out here?
Same
stuff. Like, I was like, yeah. So
new coach, same stuff.
It was good. All right. Let's jump right into let's give a local company a shout out, a Stilo Dance Studio in Fishtown, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Estilo is the place that I learned to dance. We actually did the halftime show, salsa halftime show yesterday on Monday Night Football. Me and
Okay.
17 other dancers. It was outstanding. So if you ever want to take a salsa lesson, get involved in dance, Estilo Dance Studio in Fishtown, Philadelphia.
There we go. You know, we need a clip of you dancing, man. Can we get
Hold
one
on.
of those on the show? Can we ask the
Now
producers?
you got Jeff working right now. Jeff and already you have to come in the comments right now and say, "Yep, I'm gonna get it for you." All right, let's go. It's cue. This on you, Eagles offense.
Yeah, where we at? So hang on, fat papers on and stuff. All right, let's talk about the offense. All right, so the run offense, it looked good in the first quarter, but it wasn't as impactful after. What do you think happened? What do you think happened to that? Did you think that Atlanta made some adjustments, or do you think we just went away from it? Or
Atlanta just started putting more people in the box.
yeah,
They started putting more people in the line of scrimmage, more people in the box, and have more defenders there. The same thing that we're telling you of how you always stop the run. If four people can't do it, five can do it. That's all they did. They just started adding more people to the box. That's it. And they put them in position, and then they would move them out if it was a pass. That was it. It was nothing more than that.
yeah.
And they did have some late stunts. They did a good job of stunning guys. And a few guys made a play here and there in the run game. Like the attention to detail with double teams was night and day when it came to both the teams. There was times where our guys couldn't get there on double teams, and theirs got there every single time. We had tight end Calcaterra one time, but I think it was Judon. Judon shot right across his face, and I'm like, dude, all you have to do is just run to the left. You don't stop. You don't wait, because he's not going to be where he is. He's going to be halfway to the ball. So you got to just keep going. And that's all he had to do, but didn't, and cross his face. So your thoughts on that?
Um, uh, I
Yeah. Same.
yeah, I got
Same.
nothing to add to that. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's as simple as it was for me. Um, yeah, let's go. My bad on that. Why wasn't Dallas Goedert getting really more? I mean, he was what, fourth? He had 4 catches for 31 yards. Um, why didn't you think he got more involved in the game plan, especially with
I
AJ
think
out?
so. So here's the thing. This is what Atlanta did essentially. They didn't bring a lot of pressure. They were strategic in their pressures,
Yeah.
right? And then when they did, they had a stunt with their pressure, right? And they were getting closer and closer, right? So what they would do is they would essentially rush 4 people and they would drop 7. It's hard to do that because that turns into 7-on-7. And when it turns into 7-on-7 in the pass game, the linebackers drop a little bit deeper, and there's more people in the middle of the field. And guess where a quarterback is going to go away from if I can't figure out a few of the coverages and the defensive coordinator is winning the game versus the offense coordinator, which Raheem Morris and his staff did. They took Kellen Moore to school this game. They did. And so if the tight end's in the middle of the field and there's a lot of people in the field, I'm going to stay away from the middle of the field. That's just it. So when you look at Jalen Hurts is throwing the ball to the sideline to Covey. He's throwing to the sideline to Devontae Smith. He's throwing it everywhere but in the middle of the field unless he had 100% surety that it was certainty that the guy was open. A few to Calcaterra, a few to Dallas there, but most of the time it's to the outside. So how can I get Dallas involved in the game plan? I use him like George Kittle is being used. I use him like Travis Kelce's been doing. Make him the X backside, essentially. Put the receivers over to the right and make him a split X. Now it's going to either force you to be guarded by a corner, which they don't want to do, and or they're going to put a linebacker or a safety over there. Now you got an advantageous situation going on for Dallas Goedert. So basically, if Jalen Hurts likes to throw the ball on the outside the numbers, put your tight end over there and with a better matchup and let him do it. Or you don't think that he's worth the money that you're paying him. That's one of the two things. You're saying he can't do what those guys doing, which also says that you shouldn't have paid him.
Yes.
But that's what I think should happen. I think that they should use him more like you use Travis Kelce and Kittle, which is in receiver formation sometimes.
Yeah. So now let me stand on that point right there. Now, do you think that this is a one game deal? Like, do you think that Kellen just got out coached this game, or do you think that that's something that he could implement
No,
here going in the future?
no. I don't think this is a one. I just think that this is a master. I think this is a master. I think Raheem Morris, a Super Bowl winning coach, one of the youngest coaches, head coaches that ever graced his game when he was in Tampa because of his defensive, prowess and his ability to do that. I just think that he's a great young mind in this game, and I think that he has a lot of people's numbers. That Rams that year when he had Von Miller and Aaron Donald, they were a pain in the butt on defense. And they were multiple in all of their secondary packages. And they had Darius Williams, and they had Ramsey. They had a bunch of guys back there, and Weddle. They had a bunch of guys back there making plays. So I think that just this game, like I just told you, there was multiple plays that it was a coverage that I didn't have a full grasp on, and I seen everything, and which was hard for me. And I thought that he was he's creative, and he knew he was playing Jalen Hurts. He created a defense on that fourth down that just in case Jalen Hurts ran, there was a defender for him, and they were able to switch off whoever was going deepest in the back end. They did that in the game. The number one went vertical on the right side, or number two went vertical on the right side. The corner picked them up. Number three went vertical on the left side. The safety picked them up, and the opposite person came down. Like, you know what I mean? So you need creativity. So I think that was just one of those where Raheem was just had the number, and then you got better players. Like AJ Terrell is a good player. Alford is a good corner. Jesse Bates, and they arguably got the best secondary in the league when it comes to getting the ball and it comes to coverage and stuff. They got one of the best secondaries in the league.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hey man, so what you're saying is
we got
so does AJ Brown change anything in this game?
Yes. Because even though you play coverage and there may be some you can't cover him one-on-one. And it allows you to put a guy over to the left and the right and throw the ball to him. Does AJ Brown? Yes, it changes it. Now he takes AJ Terrell, and now you have Alford guarding Devontae Smith. And yeah, is that a difference? That's a huge difference. You can't key on one person. That's a huge difference. And if anything, we saw how valuable AJ Brown was to the team that particular game, because there's no way we should have lost that game. All right. Oh, let me add this to this. Hold on, wait a minute. Because I just got to talk about a few things. Saquon Barkley played an outstanding game except for one play. It was a huge play. I'm not minimizing that play. It's the easiest pass to catch offensively. A flat route, because if the quarterback throw it hard as he wants, you running away from the velocity of the throw. It's the easiest play. So if any of you saying, hey, we should have ran the ball, go back and look at that play. They had 9 defenders in the box. You're not getting any yards with 9 defenders in the box. Like, I'm talking about 0 yards, and it's probably over a 60% chance you lose yards when there's 9 defenders in the box, right? And because it's not a goal line situation, you got receivers out there. It's 9 people in there. You're not getting that. He called a naked. It was wide open, and Dallas Goedert was wide open too. Dallas Goedert had 0 people covering him. So It was a great call, great ball placement. Saquon, two things. One, he's trying to run up the field before he catches the ball, not understanding the situation. The situation is just calls for a catch. Yards at the catch is obsolete at this moment. You don't need it. Understand the situation. You understand the situation, your eyes and your focus is on the ball only. That's king in this moment. You have to learn how to be what you need to be in that moment. We didn't need Deshaun Jackson in that moment, a home run threat. We needed Jason Avant in that. We needed me in that situation, where it's a dude that can't run that fast, but he can focus on the ball like mother. You need to be that player in that moment. And everybody has to go in and out of these roles, right? So you got to know that situation. Another thing, too, the ball is in the middle of your chest. Turn your hands over. Turn your hands over. It does two things. It causes you not to drift up the field because you can't drift with your hips locked. When you're like this, you have to go in that direction toward the ball. It's hard to drift up when you don't see that. When God catches the ball like this, right hand on top, it's at the chest. That's how it has to be. Thumbs together. You have to go down to catch the ball. And guess what? Because you're trying to catch it the right way, if you bobble it, you got another chance. Drifting, hands in the wrong position, you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. But anybody saying that was a bad call, y'all, you have lost your mind. That's a pro player with the easiest route to catch possible. You can say, oh, he dropped so many passes, he did this, that. Listen, if anybody else is in the game in that situation, it don't work because Saquon is the guy that's been in the game the whole time.
Yeah.
And nine people versus 12 personnel or whatever it was in that game. I don't think that's a good situation.
No, I agree with you 100%. He was wide open on that play. I like the call at the time, but I will ask you this: so if they do run the ball there and they don't get it right, kick the field goal, they're up. Falcons got 40 seconds left.
Nope, they still had timeout.
Right. They had to use
So
it.
so they so they would have no timeouts.
Yeah. So 40 seconds left, no timeouts, right? Because if you ran it on third down right there,
No,
they
you
got
had
it.
to kick the field goal, timeout. So the time was
Oh, that's
stopped.
right. That's right. Okay, so they have one. All right.
So you got to kick the field goal. So it's going to be fourth down with
Okay.
with the clock stopped, but they will have no timeouts going.
Right.
So the only thing that you can say, which a lot of people are saying, is that you should probably run the ball twice. You try to get a yard and a half and then push it for the rest. Okay. This ain't Jason Kelsey tush push. You're not getting 3-4 yards in a tush push. They did a better job last night. They did a better job last night.
Yeah.
But unless you're saying I just didn't see them getting yards on that particular play. But
Yeah.
but remember, hindsight is always 2020.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. Is he leaving the pocket too early? Is he not reading the defense? What's going on with them? Why is he throwing interceptions at the end of the game?
Well, seeing what I just saw in this coverage right here, he probably was like, "What the hell is going on right there?" If they was
Yeah,
doing this kind of stuff
that's
all
smart.
game, I mean, so I think I think it's a little bit of both. One thing that really does frustrate me is, um, he tries to play hero ball a little bit. I feel like, especially when he leaves the pocket early, just throw it out of bounds or just get what you can and get out of bounds. We don't need to try to force every ball in tight coverage. A couple of those passes that he had in the game, I mean, we're lucky they didn't get picked off because I mean, there's there's guys right there, and he's just throwing it so far outside or so hard that they're dropping it. But I think he's pressing a little bit, and I don't understand why he feels the need to try to prove himself. I mean, you've been a really good quarterback in this league. You know, it's okay to run the ball sometimes. This stigma, I feel like black quarterbacks have a stigma where they feel like if they run a lot,
He ran.
they're gonna.
He ran.
He
Go ahead. Go
ran.
ahead.
He ran on design runs. I'm talking about when you get out of the pocket. When I just know as a defensive player and as a guy that coaches defense, a quarterback that is willing, if I have great coverage and he's willing to pull it and run, that is one of the most difficult things to deal with.
He did that this game though.
He
I
didn't
would say yeah.
I don't think he did it as much. I think there were a few opportunities where, especially early in the game, where like the first third down when they were in the red zone, I
Yeah.
think he could have ran and got that first down, gave us
Yeah.
three more plays, and I don't know. I just feel like I just hope that he's not feeling like he's just got to go out there and make every single throw and try to put it in tight coverage and these tight situations. Like just let the game come to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just the way I feel. I feel like he's pressing a little bit. What do you think?
Well, I think in this situation, here's my thought. I think that he doesn't always just takes what the defense gives him. There's times, um, there's time like multiple times where he could have just hit a check down right to Saquon,
Yeah.
and he ended up running right, getting 3 yards and knocked out of bounds. You could just hit check down. He gonna get the same 3 yards. You just making yourself tired for no reason.
Yeah.
Now he was able to get out of the pocket and rush extremely well this game. He ran the ball extremely um, well. He had 85 yards on 13 carries, right? So he was able to make some plays happen with his legs. A lot of those plays he didn't have to. There's one on a Devontae Smith touchdown drive where he caught the ball in the back of the end zone. On that touchdown drive, I believe that was in the is that in the second quarter?
Yeah, I think it was
I
second.
can't remember. Yeah, second quarter. On that drive, he rushed the ball pretty much the entire time. And one of those plays, he had a wide open, shallow cross in pressure. And he ended up running for like 15 yards and breaking a tackle and getting the first down. It was a third down. He would have got the same yardage and or even scored if he would have just got the ball out in time. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you see plays like that. You see on that fourth down play, the coverage was tough. We didn't understand what it was. The one thing that I do know in that situation is that to me it looked like zone. I know I'm talking about from a safety perspective. The
Yeah, I
the
think it was.
play the linebackers and stuff made it look different, but to me it looked like zone. And if you feel the zone, I'm going to like a pirate on the left side. I'm going with that over there rather than trying to get an option route or outbreaker. You trusting Saquon over Devontae Smith? I'm not doing that. Like little things like that, or just leaving a pocket early in situations where you don't have to. Now, I would say this game, the things I'm talking about happened 4 plays.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Yeah.
4 plays. Were they critical? Yeah. But it was about 4 plays. A lot of the times when he is patting the ball, the defense had us licked.
Mm-hmm.
The coverage was better than the play call. The coverage was better than the play call. That was just the truth. So overall, I thought he played a good game. And now that last possession, that last play, just a bonehead mistake by him. Just a bonehead mistake. You got a timeout. Covey is wide open. Not wide open. He has a step on the defender. If anybody has a shot at that ball, it's Covey. But you made up in your mind that I want to throw this angle route because that's what it was. It was a deep cross with an angle. Devontae Smith was running an angle route with underneath coverage underneath it. It was 22 man to his side basically,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get both of these dudes." No, first of all, you got to know your personnel and you got to know their personnel. You got a Pro Bowl corner that's guarding your best receiver, and then you got an all pro safety that his only thing that he does extremely well is get the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Bates gets the ball back. So knowing that situation, I would rather throw the ball to a deep cross and hopefully I get out in front. So Covey has a shot. That was the play. And if you don't trust it, throw the ball out of bounds. Don't just throw
Yeah.
it up in the air. Throw the ball out of bounds. So he has to do a better job in that area.
Yeah.
Let's let's get to the listeners because we almost out of time, Q.
Okay. Get to the what?
Let's get to the questions.
Oh,
To the questions from the fans. All right. Aaron Puga or Puja wanted to ask about Jalen Hurts. He's been praised to have a very high football IQ, but it seems like he still makes the same mistakes since the first year as a starter. Bailing out of the pocket too early, running to the right side of the line, stepping up in the not stepping up in the pocket. Now, for the second time in the past 7 games, he's thrown an interception uh, because he's
that's a
trying
lot
to
of
push
questions.
the ball down the field rather than just get the team in field goal position. I believe he had. We just talked about this. He
Yeah.
had Covey underneath on the final play. We saw him do this the same thing in Seattle last year. Talking about the AJ Brown double move thing that they had going on, and
Mhm.
Devontae was wide open on the left side. Is it possible that he may not be as coachable as people think, or is he truly not even being coached about these things or issues?
That's a long question. Good Lord. Yeah.
I just answered half that question on the last. He should have hit Covey on that. Yes, he leaves the pocket when he doesn't have to. Yes, he can check the ball down and play the game that way. Yes, he runs to the right far too often. He just has this default. If he feels like his clock is going off, even though he has time, he's going to start drifting right. That's a problem. However, on that last play, the blitz came from the left. He should have drifted to the right. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
uh, but he should have hit Covey on that. Is it that he's uncoachable? I don't think that he's uncoachable. I just think that coordinators are coming up with creative ways to stop Jalen Hurts. Like there's multiple times with Ryan Morris in this group that I didn't know the coverage. So I know Jalen Hurts didn't know the coverage. So I think it's tough when you got a defense coordinators that's willing to confuse, and I bet you that's on the scouting report. I bet you that's on the scouting report.
Oh
I
yeah.
bet you they say on their scouting report, do something that will confuse a quarterback, break principles, because if he sees a base cover 2, a base cover 3, a base cover 4, he'll figure it out. But if you throw a combo coverage at him, something that doesn't like stand up as far as like on a board is going to be a problem for him. I bet you that's on the scouting report because
That's
over
true.
the last 2 years, I've seen more coverages created for this dude. Remember Bill Belichick ran the cover 4 zero blitz?
Yeah.
I've seen more defenses created for this dude in the past year than I've seen for other quarterbacks. So with that being said, I think that coordinators are starting to realize that if you break principles, it's going to confuse him and make him question what he's seeing the rest of the game. That's what I would think.
Yeah.
But
That's
I will say this is that he has to be able to elevate the team in these situations. He has to be able to make a play. He has to be able to be cool in these moments and bring forth the victory if you're going to pay this man $50 million like you did. You pay this man all this money, he has to be a game changer. I'm seeing that A.J. Brown is a game changer, but is Jalen Hurts a game changer? Um, I've seen him do it before. I haven't seen him do it recently, meaning the last 10 ball games.
well, and that's I got one more question for you. So we are, and we can answer this, really quickly, but I see a lot more teams playing zone, right? Is there an issue? Because most teams, when they see a lot of zone, you see receivers sitting in the open areas. It seems like our receivers they're just running the spots and they're not finding the open areas in the zone. Is that normal? Or am I going like am I
I
missing
don't
something here?
I don't love their concepts. Like they spend half the time running jump. like the RPO stuff. Like that's junk, man. It's junk. Like they spend half their time running these gadgety stuff rather than concepts where you gotta read it out so you can give a guy an opportunity. So I seen the guys trying to sit in zones, but the Falcons did a freaking great job of matching their zones. They played man in their areas. That's what zone defense is for. You didn't get easy throws in that defense because their zone, they matched it. Their underneath players matched it extremely well. And the way that they were able to match it is that their linebackers were playing man and just pass it off. There wasn't much space in between. So when the guy would go and sit down, it would be a guy right next to him. It wasn't like he was just sitting in his own and he playing half the distance to the next guy. No, they were staying with the guy, and the Mike linebacker was just going with Jalen Hurts' eyes, so which made it extremely hard. It made it uncomfortable. So I don't think that it was they don't know the zones. I just think that they did a great job of matching in their zones. A freaking outstanding job. That was a excellent defensive performance yesterday.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll do it for the Q&A show. We want to say thank you to Adam and Jeff and everybody that's responsible, to all the fans that's tuning in. Hopefully we get better this upcoming week. We have a tough task to try to beat the Saints down there when it's rocking and they're good. And Derek Carr completing 77% of his passes, and Shaheed's 24 yards a catch, and Alvin Kamara's 5 touchdowns and 200 yards rushing in the first 2 ball games. You know, like it's offensive line is killing them. Clint Kubiak is dialing it up. Hopefully we can come out and play big. It doesn't look good. It looks like it's supposed to be a loss, but you never know in the National Football League. Hopefully our team can go down there and do something and shock the world, because I am definitely not expecting them to win this game. Sorry that sound like doom and gloom, but thank you to everybody. You got the last word.
Hey, man, the Eagles never lose when they're supposed to, man. We stay up when we're supposed to be down. We going to win this one. I believe in y'all. We're going to get it all figured out one week. We're going to be ready. We got this.
Me up. I hope so. Peace, you guys.